My cheating ex-wife showed up to our divorce. Hearing holding hands with my brother, she thought it would secure her a payout until the judge asked one question. I married Jessica right after college. We were together for 8 years, married for 5 of them. She worked part-time as a receptionist while I built my landscaping business from scratch. Started with just me and a used pickup truck, grew it into a company with 12 employees and contracts all over the county. Jessica always said she was proud of me, that we were building our future together. My brother Kyle was my best man at our wedding. He'd come over every Sunday for dinner, help me move equipment, even loaned me $5,000 when I needed a new commercial mower. I trusted him with everything. Last March, I came home early from a job because it started raining. Found Kyle's truck in my driveway at 2 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. He was supposed to be at work. I walked in through the garage and heard voices upstairs, laughing, talking, sounds I really didn't want to identify. I stood in my own hallway for maybe 2 minutes trying to convince myself there was some other explanation. There wasn't. I didn't make a scene or yell, just grabbed my truck keys and left. Stayed at a motel that night trying to process what just happened. Jessica called me 47 times. Kyle called 23. I didn't answer any of them. The next day I went to a lawyer named Patricia who specialized in divorce cases. She asked me straight up if I had proof of the affair. I told her I walked in on them, but I didn't take pictures or record anything. Patricia said that might make things harder, but we'd figure it out. Jessica moved out within a week and went straight to Kyle's apartment across town. Didn't even try to hide it anymore. My parents were destroyed. My mom cried for 3 days straight. My dad stopped talking to Kyle completely, wouldn't even answer his calls. Jessica filed for divorce first, which surprised me. Her lawyer was this aggressive guy named Richard who immediately started demanding half of everything. Half my business, half my house, half my retirement accounts. Said Jessica contributed to the marriage and deserved compensation for her years of support. The thing is, I had kept really detailed records of my business finances. Every dollar that went in and out, every expense, every invoice. Patricia told me to gather everything I had. Bank statements, business records, tax returns, anything that showed where money came from. I spent 2 weeks organizing 8 years of paperwork. Found some interesting stuff in there too. The divorce hearing was set for November 15th at the county courthouse. I got there 30 minutes early wearing the only suit I owned. Patricia met me in the hallway and we went over everything one more time. Then Jessica showed up with Kyle. They were holding hands walking through the courthouse like they were on a date. Kyle had this smug look on his face like he'd won something. Jessica was dressed in this expensive outfit I'd never seen before, probably bought with money from our joint account she drained right after leaving. They sat on the opposite side of the courtroom whispering to each other and occasionally glancing at me. Richard, her lawyer, kept shuffling papers and looking confident. Judge Morrison called the hearing to order and asked both sides to present their cases. Richard went first, talking about Jessica's contributions to the marriage, her emotional support, how she sacrificed her career potential to support my business dreams, made her sound like some kind of saint. Patricia presented our side, showing my business records, proving that every dollar in that company came from my work, my investments, my loans. Jessica barely worked 20 hours a week and her income never went into the business. It was all documented. Judge Morrison listened to everything quietly, taking notes. Then he looked up at Jessica and Kyle still sitting close together in the gallery. He asked Jessica to approach the bench. She walked up there with Richard looking nervous for the first time all day. Judge Morrison shuffled through some papers, then looked directly at Jessica. Mrs. Peterson, the judge said, I have a question for you. According to these financial records, you withdrew $43,000 from your joint savings account with your husband on March 18th of this year. Can you explain what those funds were used for? Jessica's face went white. She looked back at Kyle, who suddenly wasn't smiling anymore. Richard started stammering something about needing to review records, but Judge Morrison wasn't done. He pulled out more papers that Patricia had submitted. According to bank transfers, $40,000 of that money was wired to Kyle Peterson's personal account 2 days later. That's your husband's brother, correct? The courtroom went dead silent. Jessica tried to speak, but nothing came out. Kyle stood up from his seat looking like he wanted to run. Judge Morrison looked at both of them and said, so you withdrew marital funds, gave them to your affair partner who is also your husband's brother, and now you're asking for half of his business assets? Richard tried to argue that the money was Jessica's right to access as a joint account holder, but the judge shut him down. Misappropriation of marital assets to fund an extramarital relationship is not going to help your case, counselor. In the end, Judge Morrison denied Jessica almost everything she asked for, said her conduct showed clear intent to harm me financially. I got the house, my business stayed 100% mine, and she got nothing except her personal belongings and her car. Kyle ended up having to pay back the $40,000 as part of the settlement. Took him 2 years of wage garnishment to clear it. Jessica and Kyle broke up 4 months after the divorce was finalized. Guess the relationship wasn't as strong when there was no money left to steal.